Hey guys, my name is Emma Gaccioni, and I just wanted to give you a brief description of why I decided to start this new Facebook group. And given the fact that I am a very busy mother of four with three crazy rugrats, I keep meaning to post a whole written description, but I just run out of time every day. So I figured I would just post a quick video, and that would save me time and the effort, and I could actually show you a visual of what my inspiration was to start this group. So I guess to get started, I will give you a little bit of background. Um, I worked in fashion for a few years in New York City, and there certainly were girls that could have, I don't, for lack of a better word, attitude. But I always had a lot of good friends. I always had great girls. They seemed pretty supportive. You definitely didn't have super deep friendships, but everyone seemed pretty supportive of each other. Um, I never really experienced a lot of girl drama until I moved to a suburb, until I had my children, and until I moved to a suburb. And that's when I guess you start joining these groups and developing friendships with other moms that probably also had careers at some point. And some of them are pretty smart ladies and they were probably pretty successful. And I guess maybe they take all of that excess energy. Some of them, again, not all of them, I've developed some wonderful friendships, but some of them take that energy and use it in a negative way. And they start just being very competitive, and one up is the word that I always goes through my head. There's a lot of one uppers. And it's just not my personality. It's never been my personality. I'm pretty self deprecating and I'm very disorganized. And I've always tried to look at life like you're not ever going to have everything. I mean, I feel like I have everything because I have a very beautiful family and healthy children and a loving husband. So I think it's important to look at what you have, not what you don't. But I don't know that some of these women do that. I think sometimes I don't know what's going on in their personal lives, but I think sometimes they get focused on trying to be better than others, and maybe that's an insecurity. But I dealt with some pretty vicious behavior for a little while, and it led me to buy this book, which was basically the inspiration for this whole group. And I recommend all of you buy this book and read it. I think it's a great book, and it really helped me. I'm a big believer in research, and it's named Mean Girls Grown Up. Mean Girls Grown Up. It's written by Cheryl, which is funny, Cheryl Della Gasiga, and it says that its quick description is adult women who are still queen bees, middle bees, and afraid to bees. And she separates these cliques or these gangs of grown up adult women into three different categories, and she talks about what the different inspirations for the way that they act and the different she sort of breaks out up the psychology of each of these types of women, and it really helped me. And I did name this group Queen Bees, and the reason that I did, I mean, Queen Bees in this book is sort of a negative connotation, but I wanted to call this group Queen Bees because I think we're all queens. And I don't think any of us should dumb down or blindly follow any group. You should always be friendly. But, the biggest lesson I've learned at 40 years old is when you meet someone and they tell you they don't have a lot of girlfriends or they've never really been able to have girlfriends or liked having girlfriends. They're really a guy's girl. Some of these women that I ended up, finding out the hard way that was kind of the first thing a lot of them told me was, I don't really have a lot of girlfriends. I'm a guy's girl. I say run from that because I've always had a lot of girlfriends, and I think I'm very fortunate that I have sisters. So I think, sometimes when you have sisters, that's your first sort of interaction with learning how to deal with women. And my sisters are my best friends. And again, I'm very lucky in that way. But I just think that some of these women don't get past some of the negative things that go on in high school or middle school. And I hate using that term because I think that's an easy fallback term when you're adult. Oh, that's so high school or that's so middle school. But it's really not, because we're not in high school anymore. We're not in middle school anymore. These situations are happening now. They're real. And I think that we as women need to be upstanders and not have drama, but stand up for each other. If somebody's bashing someone, say to that person, this is not necessary. Please stop. I know her. She's a great person. I'm sorry that you feel the way you do, but this isn't right. And more importantly, our children are going to grow up together. And, I think it's important to be friends with people that make you feel good. If you are friends with someone and you tell them things about what's going on in your life, and every single time you tell them, because that's what friends do, their response is to tell you a similar story about what's going on in their life, but something that's more fabulous. Now, we should all share things, positive and negative, but we should feel good when we're hanging out with our friends. And if it becomes a pattern that you feel negative with someone, or, there's little jabs here and there from that person, that's not a friend. Friends make you feel good. Friends lift you up. Friends tell you, that you look good, or that you do something really well, that they're proud of you, that they're happy that you were able to buy a new home, that they're happy that you've found a new job, that they're, happy for you, that you did a great speech at the PTA, whatever it is. You lift each other up. And, we all have moments in our lives that we're going to have accomplishments, and we have moments in our lives that we're going to feel down and feel low. And as long as the good outweighs the bad, you don't want a Debbie Downer friend that's never happy. But, every once in a while, our friends go through a tough time. And if you have a girlfriend who is being bullied, you should stand up for her. And, you should be there for her. And if that just means being a shoulder to lean on or an ear, I think that's very important, because you'll get the same thing in return, hopefully. And if you don't, that's not a friend that you want. It's not a friend that you need. And I know I'm rambling on and on, but I just wanted to give you a little description of this group. I think you heard pretty much the gist of it. And the important thing for me is not only figuring out how to support each other as grown women, and I think that's important. I think it's something that should not be swept under the rug. But more importantly, to give our daughters, I have 2 daughters, and to give our daughters the tools that they need to know how to deal with these situations, to know how to not feel like victims when some of these things happen to them, to know how to deal with situations that aren't really a big deal, that aren't really worth getting that upset about. I've had situations where my daughter has gotten very upset about something a girl has said or done that really wasn't a big deal. And I know it was a big deal to her, and it was important that she was heard. But I think it was important for me to explain to her that in that situation, it wasn't worth her going and hanging out all by herself and not having fun with her friends. Sometimes you need to look past things, and we need to forgive people. Sometimes people are just having a bad day. So we need to give our daughters the tools they need to be confident and assertive, to not be a wannabe, to not be a middle B, to not be an afraid to be, to not follow somebody who's leading a group, a pack, a clique of girls, blindly, and to listen to everything this leader is saying, to be manipulated by this person because they want to stay in the cool club. That's my goal, is that we give our girls the self-esteem and the confidence to be able to stand on their own, to feel good about an accomplishment, that whether they write a great speech or get great grades, and that doesn't mean bragging, that's a whole other issue. It just means being confident and being happy and not dumbing down. And I think that that will transcend into their adult life, and hopefully we'll have way less queen bees in the negative sense and other queen bee posses out there if we can help our girls and help each other. And so I hope to hear from some of you. I really hope that you contribute. Please add your friends and neighbors. I have girlfriends from all over the world on this group. This is not a specific demographic. This is, I think, a worldwide problem or issue. And I think that a lot of people could benefit from this information and from this support. So I hope that I've answered some of your questions, some of the emails that I've gotten asking me what exactly this is about. I'm sorry for rambling. And let me know if you have any more questions. And please start posting and sharing stories and ideas and articles and information. And let's support each other. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Take care.